Good afternoon, everyone. In the previous video, we have discussed two different types of layout. Those are our process layout and product layout. And in those two type of layout, we covered all the type of material flow, advantages and disadvantages of both the types of layout. Today, although we have a different time, more number of layouts, but as per our course concern, we will discuss another one type of layout, that is our combination layout. Before that, we will brief on the previous class, which in which we covered two different layouts: process layout and product layout. Here we'll compare between process layout and product layout. See, this column shows your process layout, and the second column shows the product layout. Here, in process layout, the products are customized. See, customized is the main part, but in case of product layout, the products are standardized. In process layout, different products follows different paths. You can say those are variable paths, but product layout, product follows direct path. For process layout is used for low and fluctuating demands, whereas product layout is used for high demands, or you can say stable demands. Means your order, today you are getting the order for the same product. Even after 1 year, you will get that type of order for the same product. In case of process layout, your fixed costs are low and variable costs are high. Whereas in case of product layout, your fixed costs are high and variable costs are low. Because in case of product layout, you may require to buy more number of specific type of machines in order to produce the product. Whereas in case of process layout, you have some sort of generalized machines where you will perform all types of product. See, in case of process layout, we see functional grouping activity. Means we, as I said earlier, we divide the machine as per its functional ability. Like all types of machines performing milling function kept under milling section, all type of machine that are functioning drilling function kept under drilling section, like that. But in case of product layout, we will see sequential grouping activities. Means as per your production line or product flow line, the machines are sequenced. In case of process layout, we generally find all the general purpose equipments. General purpose equipments means in the equipments where you can perform a different types of work in the same equipment. Whereas in case of product layout, you will find some or few special purpose equipments. What are the special purpose equipments and why they are used? Your special purpose equipments are if you are producing a special type of plastic bottle, you need a uh, you need a machine as per that. You need machine as per that. So product layout requires product specific machines. Then comes to our so these are your complete overview of the product and process layout. And our next is our combination layout. As I said in the previous class, combination layout is nothing but it is a layout where we take the advantages of both process and product layout and perform the function of and takes the benefit of those two layout. Combination layout is possible where item being made in different types and size. In such cases, machineries is arranged in a process layout, but the process grouping is made. Then it is arranged in sequence to manufacture various types and size of products. A combination of product and the process layout with emphasis either is noticed in most industrial establishments, because most of the time you will not see, means nowadays you will never see a plant with specific product layout or a plant with specific process layout. Most of the plants are preferring combination layout, because uh, this type of layout is helping the industries to adapt different types of manufacturing processes, or even it helps to adapt the simple change in the product of. That is why most of the plants are focusing on combination layout. Plants are never laid out in a pure form. It is possible to have uh, both types of layout in efficiently combined form if the product is manufactured or somewhat similar or not complex. Means where you can use the combination layout, you can use the combination layout where the products are similar but not complex. See, when you are using same product, means when you are producing same products, you will go for product layout. But when you are producing we similar product, but they are not complex, then you will go for your combination layout. And if you are producing different products and complex products, you will go for process layout. So remember these three things. Again, I'm repeating the things. If you are producing same product and the number is very high, then we go for product layout. If you are producing similar and non-complex product, then we go for combination layout. If we produce different products and those are complex, we go for process layout. See, this is the example. This is an example of a gear forming machine or a gear forming process where a gear is made. This is the storeroom where you will find the raw materials, means your inventory. This is a combination layout where you will find process layout and product layout. Why this shows your product flow diagram. This is the product flow diagram where F is the forging hammer, H is the heating for hobbing machine, HT is the heating treatment furnace, GF is the gear finishing machine, and your stock room where you will find the finished product. In case of process layout, as we know, we keep the similar machines together. In case of product layout, we keep the machines with machines working on the same product together. So the total in combination layout, we keep the product layout and process layout in a single section, so that we will get the flexibility to perform to perform a operation related to your product layout and perform a operation related to our process layout. So combination layout takes the advantages of those two types of layout. Combination layout is also useful when a number of items produced in same sequence, but none of the items are to be produced in bulk. See, you have to remember these things also. Remember this thing also. You should not be producing in bulk. You should not be producing in bulk, because if you are producing in bulk, If you are using process layout or combination layout, that will take a lot of time, and you know our time is money. So we need to follow, if we are producing in bulk amount, we need to follow product layout, and that is for compulsory. Thus no item justifies for an individual and independent production line. Examples: files, hacksaws, circular metal saw, wooden saws, etc. can be manufactured on combination type of layout. So these kind of tools you can manufacture in a single type of layout. Then what are the so these things are the three complete different types of layout. One is a process layout, another one is a product layout, and third one is a combination layout. The three total type of layout which is in your syllabus. But after that, there are many different types of layout. I can give an example like our fixed position layout. In fixed position layout, what we do in fixed position layout, we generally keep the product at the center, and your all the things like man, materials, and machines, they will come near the uh, product where we need to perform the operations. Your product will remain at the center of the layout, or product will remain at some place, and where everything will go. Your tools will go, man will go, your manpower will go over there. Everything will go to that point in order to perform, carry out our operation. That is called as fixed position layout. But as per your course concern, we have three different types of layout which we have covered thoroughly. After that, after combination layout, what we have in our course, we have tools and techniques for plant layout. Which tools and techniques we generally used to perform plant layout? In plant layout, various types of tools are used. In order to improve our layout, we need to improve those different types of tools so that our plant layout can improve. And in order to complete a layout, a good layout, what we need to do? We need to analyze each and every tools. We need to have thorough idea about each and every tools and techniques. So what are the different types of tools and techniques? Those are these tools and techniques. Those are your operation flow charts, flow process chart, flow diagrams, stream diagrams, machine data cards, templates, scale models, layout drawings. So in this kind of thing, in this thing, your these three, operation process chart, flow process chart, and flow diagram, these three are quite similar. These three are quite similar things. Whereas templates, scale models, layout drawings are also kind of similar. So in operation process chart, with the help of operation process, we can separate and arrange the process material moving to which machine and work done under which method. All type of machine are to be arranged are mentioned in a operation process chart. So this process chart is prepared initially when the plant has not been set up, and we are planning to set up a plant. Before that, we define our operation process chart. So here, as nothing has not been done, so we have the flexibility to eliminate, combine, rearrange different processes or different positions. so that our layout will be better. Then our flow process chart. What happens in flow process chart? All production activities occurring on the floor of the plant are represented graphically by flow process. So, in this process, if we represent the process in graphically, the flow process chart, a real work is to tracing the actual flow of work. In case of flow process chart, what we do, we prepare a chart of the work material, where the work material is going from place to place, from which place the work material is going to which place. In flow process chart we define that. So what happens, if we are working thoroughly on the flow process chart, we can work on transportation, storage and delay of the work material. So we can eliminate them, or we can reduce them. Our delay time, we can reduce that thing. So that, what is again, as I said earlier, time is money. So that we can make more number of products in less amount of time. Again, flow diagram, it is quite similar to flow process chart. It is graphically represent the work areas, machineries, storage area, gangways, etc. Which path is followed by main or material are marked in this. Main and or material, all are marked in this. In this flow process chart, we'll trace out the undesirable characteristics of the layout which is responsible for delay. Your flow diagram will completely define the undesirable layouts, means the undesirable things that is present in your layout, so that your delay can be eliminated. Then our string diagram is the simplest technique, and it is very simple, where you model make a model where everything is there. And what you do, it is completely, you can say, a template. Again, template is there, but it is quite equivalent to your template, where you will find different models is used to trace the path of workers, materials and movements. Sometimes what we find in plant, there is a one way. Suppose a worker is going in that way, means he, that person cannot return in that way in order to avoid certain type of accidents. So string diagram can better define that thing. Then machine data card. Machine data card provides the full information about machine capacity, space, power requirement, handling devices, its name, its dimension, everything. Machine data card shows, and it should be placed near the machine, so that we can get the proper information about the machine data card, proper information about the machine. Then our templates. Why templates are used? It unnecessary handling is eliminated, backtracking is eliminated. uh, Backtracking, like your materials backtracking, the mechanical handling possible, and other flexibility to meet the future changes in the requirement. That is why template is used. Why template is, how template is made? Template is made, again, it is made up of, uh, you can say, but we take a board where we cut and paste different machines in actual scaling position, and total model is developed, and that is kept somewhere in office, so that our layout, we can work over there to improve our layout. Over on the, we can work on the template, so that we can, our layout can be improved. So then scale models. Scale models is nothing, again, a better version of template where we use three-dimensional layout so that our understanding gets better. Even sometimes we use same color coding so that it is more attractive and easily we can understand the models that is present in the layout. Then our last but not the least, that is our layout drawing, which is the simplest form and previously it was used. Right now we use template and scale models, which is easier. But layout drawing is used everywhere. Still, we are also using where a complete layout is shown in by drawing on the walls, columns, stairways, machines. So that what happens, every person who is working on that work floor will have the complete idea about the layout. But those layout drawings are initially drawn and we need to follow the layout drawing. So these are the factors which affect the plant layout, and these are the, we can say these are the tools. And in order to improve our plant layout we need to have a complete idea about these eight tools. And in order to improve the plant layout we need to improve these things also, these eight things, so that our plant layout can improve. So this completes our topic of plant layout, in which we have covered what are the different types of layout, what factors influences our layout, uh, what are the principles of layout, what are the objectives of good layout, and what are the tools and techniques that is used in layout. Okay, thank you all. Thank you all.